Hey, what's up, you guys? Today I just kind of wanted to complain about my place of work, honestly. As some of you may know, I work at Staples and I have worked there for about a year and a half. So I've been working there since March of 2023. It's currently the end of July, almost August of 2024. So I'm about to quit because I'm about to go to college, but I've been working there for a year and a half, right? And over the course of a year and a half, I just want to talk about the fact that I have seen a lot of coupons degrade and become less good over time, even just in my year and a half of working there, which in the grand scheme of things really isn't that much time. So the first one I want to talk about is the best coupon, because when I first started working there, this coupon caught my eye. It was there was if you did tech recycling in store, which is anything from a printer or an old computer down to wires or an old phone or something, that just any tech you want to get rid of, really, you would get a day only coupon for $10 off a $30 purchase or more, which is a crazy coupon. That's 33% off your purchase if you spend $30. And $10 in store cash. And so they wouldn't come in at exactly the same time. You would get the day only 10 off 30 printed out on your receipt and you'd be able to use it that day, but the $10 store cash took a couple days to transfer over to your account. But if you recycled 2 months in a row, then you would be able to there was a 2-week period of overlap where you would be able to do your new tech recycling and get that 10 off 30 for the day, and then use your last month's $10 off. And I did this a couple times. It was something that you could do, and I remember I told a bunch of customers that they could do it. If you recycle 2 months in a row, it's really, really worth it. It was this great coupon, and you could get $20 off your $30 purchase. That's crazy. And so that was how it was for the first few months of me working there. And it was great. And I bought a lot of things. I was in school, I could always use some pens and pencils. I got a water bottle there. They're just odds and ends that added up to $30. I remember a lot of the time, I would just get some stuff I needed, and then I would get $10 of candy. Cause we have the candy by the register, because it was literally free. Because if you use these coupons right, they were good. And it was mutually beneficial, because say you would you needed to get rid of your technology, right? Say you have just old tech, you don't want to throw a whole printer in the trash can that doesn't quite feel right. You want it to get properly recycled, get rid of less e-waste in the landfills type of thing. So you get to get rid of this technology that doesn't work anymore that you want to get rid of. You get a coupon for it, and Staples has a brand deal with a tech recycling company, and so Staples gets money for your tech being recycled. So say, I don't actually know exactly what the numbers are, but it would be for recycling a printer, Staples would get 20 or $30 from this tech recycling company as a, hey, thanks for the parts type of thing. And then Staples would give $10 of that to the consumer, to the person that, gave the thing for recycling. And then it would benefit everyone. Staples makes money, and they also make a customer, because then this customer has a chance to get money off of their purchase. Maybe they would have just come in to get rid of this item, but now that they've got such a great coupon, they're going to buy something that they wouldn't have, spend a bit of money at Staples that they wouldn't have done otherwise without this coupon. It's mutually beneficial. It's good for everyone involved, because the customer gets to get rid of their item, get a coupon, get some stuff that they do want, and Staples makes money, right? That's good. It's good for everyone. That's how businesses are supposed to work. After a bit, this coupon got nerfed to $5 back, which is still not bad. You still had the $10 off 30. You got $5 back, so you could still get literally half off of your purchase by $15 off of like, you would get a 10 off 30, and then add that $5. That's $15 off a $30 purchase if you use it right, which is, still good. They halved it, which is, it kind of sucks. But whatever. I mean, it's still a good coupon. And then recently, they halved it again. So in this past month, they reduced it again down to $2.50 per tech recycling, which at that point, like, you still get a 10 off 30, but at that point, like, you're barely getting any store cash for it. And the fact that they have halved it twice in the year and a half that I've worked there, it feels really concerning, honestly, because if this was something that happened over the course of years, I guess I'd be able to understand it more. But I've only been working there for a year and a half, and that's not even the only coupon that that's happened for. So there's also a coupon for so we do like online returns. So say you had like an Amazon return that you needed to like return to a store. We're an Amazon drop-off location, or like express returns, happy returns. That's things like Old Navy or American Eagle. If you had an online return from one of those stores, you would be able to do that at Staples, like we're a drop-off location for those, or just a UPS drop-off if you want to like ship a package with a prepaid label. All of those used to give you that same 10 off 30 coupon, which is great because, again, mutually beneficial. Like, you come in there to ship your package, you see that you get a coupon, Staples corporate benefits because you might not have thought to make a purchase. You were probably just going to go in there to return your package and that's it. So they get, $20 that they weren't going to get, or that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise if they didn't give the coupon. And the customer gets $30 of stuff for $20. The customer gets a significant coupon. So it's again mutually beneficial, because the customer, the customer gets to have this good coupon. They get $10 off their purchase. And Staples makes money. Like, it's good for everyone. It's good for both of them. And again, a couple months ago, or this one was probably like almost a year ago, but a little bit ago, they decided to reduce this coupon to a 15% off flat coupon. So instead of, instead of a $10 off a $30 purchase or more coupon where you could have, as good as a 33% discount, now it's just a flat 15%. And here's the thing is, in theory, this would make Staples Corporate more money because, they halved the coupon. Now, instead of 30% off, you get 15% off. But in all honesty, people just make smaller purchases. Like, part of what made them so much money before was that you needed to spend at least $30 to have the coupon apply. Like, it needed to be $10 off a $30 purchase or more. You had to spend $30 or more dollars. Now, most of the time, I see people just not using it, or if they do use it, they'll use it on, like, they'll get some candy at checkout, or, like, something small, like a trial size item. At, like, we have one of those, they'll get, like wipes, or, like, a small thing of, like, shampoo or deodorant or something, because we have a display for that right by shipping. And they'll just pick up one of those for $1 or $2 and get a couple cents off of it. Feels like it's not really helping anyone anymore, because 15% off, especially when you're having, like, when it's such a low value in the first place, is basically nothing. And people are spending less money than they did because you don't need to get to the $30 for it to apply anymore. It's 15% off any purchase. And here's the thing is, there are some people that do really, like, game it, and I'm one of those people. I mean, like, I work there, obviously. I, like, have time to think about the things that I would want in the store and, like, how I would go about buying them. But, like, you can get, like, if you're buying, like, a printer or a chair or something big like that, yeah, you can get 15% off of that, and it'll be, like, huge. It'll be better than that 10 off 30 ever could be, because you'll get more money off. But, like, in order to get $10 off of your purchase, you need to spend $60 So you need to spend like twice as much now to get $10 off. And I mean, sure, it's good for like if you're making a huge purchase, but it's not really doing the same thing that it used to. It's really not as like immediately beneficial for both parties as it used to be, because Staples isn't making as much money as it used to. People aren't making as big of purchases as they used to. And if they are using the coupon, they're making these huge, like, hundreds of dollars purchase. So Staples is losing more money than they would have just using the 10 off 30 coupon, you know? Like, the only times that it's really, like, beneficial, is, like, or the only times that it's really, like, you're either saving the customer like a couple of cents or like, you know, less money, or they're using it on these huge purchases, so they're taking like tens of dollars away from Staples, which I know that's not like a huge amount of money, but again, it still just feels like it's not as mutually beneficial as it used to be. It's not as good for the consumer because they get less of a discount. And it's just not as good for Staples either because people aren't making the same types of like big purchases to hit that number as they used to. And then also another one that, like, I don't actually use the ink recycling, but Staples has like a super popular ink recycling program where, well, it used to be $2 back per ink cartridge recycled, which is, I mean, $2 isn't a lot of money, but you could recycle up to 10 per month. And I mean, you could get like an easy $20 if you're like doing the recycling for your office or something, like somewhere that runs through a lot of ink, and you're recycling those 10 cartridges per month. That's $20 of store cash, like for free, you know? And so that was something that I know was $2 for a really long time. Like, it had always been, you get $2 back in store cash for like that. It had always been $2, you know, because as soon as we reduced it to $1, everyone started complaining, because we have a lot of like, because I mean, you got to think about the type of people that shop at Staples. Like, not very many people go to the physical in-person store of Staples anymore, except like actual like business owners and like older people, because like, I don't know, I just like not like, I don't know, like a lot of people go to Staples, like a lot of people have been going to Staples for a long time, and they will like always do that 10 ink cartridges every month. Like, it's like a routine for them because they get $20 in store cash, and that's great, and that's like the most ideal coupon for them. Like, my family doesn't run through that much ink. I've never actually done ink recycling at Staples, so this one doesn't really affect me as much. But it used to be $2 per ink cartridge. We reduced it to $1 per ink cartridge, and everyone was upset because all of these people that had always gone to Staples to do their ink recycling were upset that their reward was halved. Like, I mean, like, understandably, that's the word I was looking for. Like, of course they were. Because if you're used to getting $20 a month at Staples, like, you own a business, you know that, like, you know, it'll cut your costs by $20, and, like, you know, you can get some free stuff. You can get, like, even just, like, break room supplies and stupid stuff like that. Like, if, like, I don't know, just having your, like, having your reward halved doesn't feel good, and it made a lot of these people upset. And there were a lot of people that said, well, I'm not going to do my ink recycling at Staples anymore. Like, there are other companies that have this type of, like, you get this much money back for recycling ink, because, like, the little few drops of ink that are still left in the cartridge when it says it's empty are valuable, I guess. Like, there are other companies that do ink recycling and give the $2. They had just been going to Staples because it was easier. They want the $2. Like, it made a lot of people upset to reduce that. And then a couple months ago, we did it again. So we went from $2 down to $1 down to 50 cents per ink cartridge. And that just killed off the last of the people. Like, they just said, this isn't even worth making the trip anymore. When they found out that it was only 50 cents in rewards, they were like, this isn't even, like, I'm just going to throw it in the trash, because what am I going to do with, like, $5 or less? The maximum per month is $5 now. That's not worth it. It used to be $20. Um, and that's, I don't know, it just feels really scummy as a company, to have, just to have everything, to be reducing these coupons this much, because it's not helping anyone, dude. It's so genuinely, not, oh, I don't even, so, anyway, it is very scummy as a company, but also, on top of this, they're raising prices, and it just, they're raising prices by considerable amounts, and I've made a video on this before. Go watch it if you haven't watched it, because I had to personally replace price tags where they raised prices by, 10 to 20% per item, and it was, absurd. But here's the thing, is, it's one thing to be raising prices, right? It's one thing for a company to be raising prices because they can always argue that it's just inflation, right? They can always argue, okay, we're raising prices, but it's just to keep up with inflation. We're raising prices because everyone's raising prices. We're raising prices because, the cost of goods is going up, the cost to produce them is going up, and whatever and whatnot. But, it's one thing to have that, because you can always argue that. You can always argue that it's just inflation, that it's not us, it's external factors making us raise our prices, right? But it's a whole nother thing to, nerf your coupons, because, again, it is one thing to say, the cost of this item is more, but it's another thing to say, okay, the costs of all of these items in the store are more. And also, you know how we used to give you this much money back in, cash, and this, percentage off as a coupon and whatever? Yeah, so you get less now. You get less money off now of our more expensive prices. That's just scummy. That's just corporate greed. Because, again, you can argue, if the prices are just going up, that it might just be inflation. They can always have excuses for that, but inflation isn't causing you to nerf your coupons, Inflation isn't causing you to, to reduce a 30% coupon to a 15% coupon is not inflation. That doesn't make sense. It would make sense if you made it, instead of a 10 off 30, to make it a 20 off 60. So now you have to spend more money to hit that number, but it's the same ratio. That, something like that would make sense, because, if they want you to spend more money at Staples, then, if they want you to spend more money because, inflation is making the dollar less valuable, and now, you need to spend more money to be worth it, sure. I would understand if they were upping just, the point value, the threshold, the amount that you have to hit to get the reward. But the fact that they're just saying, no, we're just going to give you less money for your tech recycling. We're going to give you less money back for your ink recycling. We're going to give you less of a percentage off the items that you're buying. That is just corporate greed, because it's not inflation. That doesn't make sense for that to be inflation. It's not and here's the thing, is it's, the funny thing is that recently Staples has been pushing for the associates to emphasize brand loyalty. So I work on, I stock the shelves, so it's not as much my job as it is the jobs of my coworkers that I sort of overhear, my manager telling them on, because we have, an earpiece radio type of thing. But, it's, the emphasis of Staples right now is to emphasize, a brand loyalty. Make sure that people always come back to Staples. Make sure that, it's specifically for, the print and marketing department, because they make, things like business cards and, big signs and stuff. So, the things that, real big business people would use. And so the thinking is, okay, well, we want to emphasize brand loyalty because these people are going to, we want to make sure that these people always choose Staples as their destination to like get these things printed because they have money, and if we're their destination, then that's a steady flow of income, right? Like if every time this guy wants his business cards printed, he chooses Staples, then that's a constant, like Staples knows that they're going to make money off this guy. It's more predictable, I guess, of like an income type of thing. So they're emphasizing brand loyalty, which makes sense, right? You want to have like consistent customers. You want customers that always come to Staples, But the thing is, the funny thing is, at the same time, they're reducing everything that like would make a customer loyal to Staples. Like, say you always came to Staples to do your ink and tech recycling, and then you shopped there afterwards. It was like a monthly routine. I'm going to recycle my tech, I'm going to recycle my ink, and I'm going to get this much money back, and then I'm gonna, buy what I need for the month. Like, that was a lot of people's routine, and a lot of people have stopped shopping there because of that. Like, I mean, they've told me and I believe them, like I know a lot of the time, like you'll hear like, like Karens or whatever at the grocery store saying like, oh, you won't lower this price for me, I'm never shopping here ever again, you just lost a customer. And the cashier's like, okay, I don't care, because here's the thing is like, I don't care if I lose one singular customer. But like, at the same time, it's like a lot of people are saying, okay, well, if you're not going to give me what I came for, if I'm not going to be able to recycle my ink here, you are not the only company that offers this incentive. I'm just not going to shop here anymore, Like, I'm not going to recycle my tech here anymore because it's just not worth making the trip for $2.50, Like, I think I am just going to throw it in the trash because it's not worth the gas money at that point. When it was $10, sure. Like, $10 once a month, that's not nothing. But $2.50, especially like in this economy, is it even worth the trip? Is it worth the, like, is it worth it to get 50 cents per ink cartridge? Is it worth it for a maximum of $5 back? Like, a lot of the time, no. Like, a lot of the time, it does make sense for people to just not want to shop at Staples anymore because a lot of the things, like, a lot of what was keeping them there were these discounts that are now being nerfed because these loyal customers will say, okay, I'm going to recycle every month and I'm going to do my, like, strategically placing everything so that I get $20 off my $30 purchase because I come here once a month, I see these coupons, I know how this stuff works. The people that are loyal know how the coupons work, And when you like reduce these coupons, it gives people less of an incentive to be loyal. It gives people less of an incentive to keep shopping at Staples because here's the thing is like, say you always do your Amazon returns at Staples because you always get that, you always get that $10 off a $30 purchase or more coupon, and then you see that it gets reduced to 15%. Like, that's sort of like, in my opinion, it probably drove away some customers because, yeah, you could still get 15% off, but now all of a sudden I'm not sure if I'm going to get a coupon at all the next time that I go, Because if they reduced it that one time, who's to say they're not going to reduce it again into something negligible or just get rid of it entirely, And a lot of people really liked those coupons that have been significantly reduced, like the tech recycling and the ink recycling. And I keep going back to it because there are so many people that have said, I'm not shopping here anymore because, like, it just isn't worth it to me anymore. Oh, man. That was my first death. That sucks. But, like, it just feels like stupid to me. It's just corporate greed. And I just don't get how they expect customers to be loyal, though, when they're taking away everything that loyalty would mean. Like, why would you come to Staples once a month to do your monthly thing if, like, you're not getting anything for it, if you're hardly getting anything for it, if you're getting 1/4 of what you were getting pretty much this time last year, you know? That just feels stupid. And the fact that it's deteriorated so much over just the course of a year and a half is like absurd. Because like it's just corporate greed and them saying we want to give these people less of a discount. We want them to spend more money, you know? We don't want them to be able to game and get $20 off a $30 purchase because then we're losing money, you know? So we're going to reduce it, and then we're going to reduce it again, and then we're going to reduce it again, and they're losing customers in the process, and then they're saying, no, guys, employees, we're losing customers. You need to emphasize brand loyalty, when, like, it's not the fault of the employees. Of course it isn't. It's not the fault of anyone except Staples management, because those are the people that determine what coupons our machines print out, you know? Like, it's not the fault of anyone besides whoever is reducing these coupons, because, like, they just consistently make it worse and worse. And they make it, like, if you have been a loyal Staples customer for a year and a half and you have been seeing these things deteriorate in real time the same way that I have, why would you continue working at Staples? Or not working. Why would you continue shopping at Staples, you know? Why would you still go there if you know that prices are going up? Because they are. They're very quantifiably going up. Like, if the prices are going up to the extent that a lot of customers will come in, say, hey, do you have this item? I'll say, yeah, here it is. And they'll say, you know, I wasn't planning on spending $50 on this item today. I don't think I can make this purchase. Like, that happens a lot. It's just so expensive that people just can't afford to shop there anymore. And then, like, on top of not being able to shop there because it's too expensive, all of these coupons they've gotten over the course of years that they, like, may have learned to rely on is like, okay, it's more expensive, but, you know, at least if I do my ink recycling, then I'll be able to get $20 off, so it, like, balances out and works out to be cheaper than the other places, because, you know, it, like, because I can use these coupons and these discounts. But, like, I don't, like, I just, like, and then you're deteriorating that as well and continuing to raise the prices and continue. And also, I didn't even mention this. This was the reason I wanted to do this video, is that last time I was at work, I was tasked to replace a bunch of signs, right? And the specific signs that I was replacing were, so Staples has been, like, all in on an ad campaign to advertise their 50-cent deals, right? So there are a lot of items, so like composition copybooks and spiral notebooks and, like, crayons, color pencils, those types of things. We have a bunch of deals where those only cost 50 cents, or in the case of the spiral notebooks, only 35 cents. And they've been really, really emphasizing, like, you can get these for only 50 cents. It's awesome, right? And I worked the last back to school, right? Last back to school, the maximum number of any given item that you could get was 30, right? Any of our super discounted items like that, anything that was, like, less than $5, basically, that's usually, like, you know, significantly more than our back to school pricing. The limit was 30. So all of these 50-cent items, you could only get 30, which was, like, you know, like a significant box of them. You know, that's a class of students. That's, like, you know, it's 30's a lot. But my task for the last time I was at work was to reduce this number from 30 to 10. So now you can only get 10 of each of these items that are significantly discounted. And I know that that's going to cause such, like, so many people are going to be upset about that, because it has always been 30. Like, it has always been, you can only buy 30 of, like, these discounted items. That's how it's been for back to schools for, like, years, right? Like, that is what it has been, is limit 30. And I feel like that's a reasonable limit, you know? Like, you don't want people just, like, you don't want, like, people buying like hundreds and hundreds of items and like reselling them somewhere and like, I don't know, like putting you out of business or something when it's not back to school time. Like it does make sense to have a limit on how many items you can sell at a certain price, right? But ouch. What killed me? Dude. What? Okay, whatever. But like it makes sense to have a limit, but a limit of 10 is like I bought 10 of like spiral notebooks for myself because I know that these are discounted right now and I am going to college. I wanted to get stuff for my year at college and I said I think like 10 notebooks should I have to take a bunch of classes in college. I'm probably going to be taking a lot of notes, taking a lot of lecture classes. 10 notebooks is about how many I need and I made that decision. I made that purchase before that limit was put in place. But I am one person. A lot of people that do their back to school shopping do it for their kids, do it for their several kids. And genuinely, a limit of 10, like, notebooks isn't really reasonable if you have like 3 or more kids with several classes, I know that specifically like me and my brothers, when my parents were back to school shopping for us, we would get 1 notebook for each class. I had 6 or 7 classes. And if you're doing that for more than 1 child, this discount doesn't even apply to you anymore. You have to pay an upcharge for more than the limit. So like it's like you get it's 50 cents for the first 30 and then once you pass or it was 50 cents for the first 30 and once you pass 30 it's like I think like $1 or like $1.99 for some of them is like the normal price. That's what it is, times of the year outside of back to school. And like again, it's just like it's like 30 was a reasonable number, right? Because you can buy notebooks or copybooks or whatever for a whole classroom, and it would be like, 30 students to a classroom is pretty like standard for like elementary or middle, high school. 30 is a good number because no everyday normal person shopping at Staples, no like average person just shopping for their family is going to hit the number 30. That's pretty high for one specific item, You're not going to buy 30 things of crayons, You're not going to buy 30 copybooks, 30 notebooks, 30 things of colored pencils, if you're just shopping for your kids. You know what I'm saying? If you're shopping for a classroom, maybe, but I feel like 30 is still like a reasonable like number to hit. 30 is still like you hit 30 and we say, sorry, we can't give you that discount for more than 30, and they'll probably say like, okay, yeah, that like makes sense, I guess. Like that's okay. Sure. 30 is your limit. Fine. But 10 is a number that an average person could hit. 10 is a number that I did hit as one person shopping for myself. Oh, whatever. I suck. 10 is a number that I did hit shopping for myself. Just for me, for college, I hit 10 notebooks because I felt like I might use 10 notebooks and I'd rather be safe than sorry. These are a good price, But I've hit the limit. I would have needed to pay an upcharge if I had chosen to get just 1 more. If I was a parent shopping for my children, I had more than 1 kid, I could reasonably hit that upcharge. And that's stupid, right? Like that's dumb, especially because they decided to do it at the end of July, because they have been putting out like ads and campaigns and stuff saying, buy our 50-cent items, buy it, like, these are all 50 cents, these are all 35 cents, these are, like, look at how cheap they are, and, like, they've been throwing so much money, oh, I got an S, nice, I didn't think I would, because I died at the end, they've been throwing so much money into these campaigns, and I, like, they had been throwing money into these campaigns, and saying that the limit was 30, either in like the fine print or in like, I assume they had like radio commercials, because I know they did that when we started our like coupons for, like, they started advertising it when we reduced the 10 off 30 down to a 15% off, because they wanted people to come in and like be excited about a 15% off, not knowing that it used to be better than that. I assume they were doing radio ads as well, and just like, just general ads. If they're putting them out, because I've gotten them in my email, they're putting them out, it has somewhere in the fine print, somewhere in like the little small subtext, or I assume if it's a verbal thing, like, you know, that sped up voice, that the limit is 30. And they have been saying that the limit is 30 for the entire first 2 months of summer, right? And now, just as August is starting, just as people are actually going in to make those purchases, now the limit's 10. They've just switched the limit down to 10. And on top of that, so I had to do a bunch of pricing stuff. Not only did they reduce that limit to 10, but they got rid of a bunch of the other like, not any of the 50-cent deals, but there were other things for like $5 or less that all got up by like $1 or $2, or even the entire sale ended. Just in like, this is the end of July, so the back to school crowd hasn't actually really hit yet. And it sucks, because like, they had been advertising all of these deals and like, look at how cheap you can get it here, and they got in people's heads, and they got in like, you know, they've like sort of infiltrated like Staples as your back to school spot, because everyone, I think I did always think of Staples as a back to school store. Like, when my family did our back to school shopping, it was always at Staples, or like Walmart later when Staples got more expensive, and then back to Staples when I started working there and got an employee discount. But like, people think of Staples as a back to school destination, you know? And especially with advertising that I know that they've been doing, they've sort of gotten into people's heads with, we've got 50-cent deals, you know, we've got these really cheap things, and they've listed out, like, look at how cheap all of our items that you might need for back to school are. And if you're getting these 50-cent items, then, you know, the limit is 30. Maybe people don't know that. Maybe it is like very small in the subtext, but still, like, 30 was a reasonable number. Now, they're not really, like, it's just in the little subtext, which, like, I didn't even notice when I was putting it out. I had to really look at it, and I was like, what is the difference between this new price coupon, or like this new price tag, and the old one? Do I even need to switch this out? Is there a difference? You know? And then I saw in, like, the subtext of the price tag that the limit was 10, and I, you know, checked my email for the last time they sent out an advertisement. Yeah, it says in the subtext, in the little, like, tiny little font below it, that the limit is 10. And that changed, like, but if anyone had been paying attention to it beforehand, if they had been saying it anywhere beforehand, they had been saying 30. Until August actually hit, and people actually start buying the things, that's when it gets upped. That's, like, all of a sudden it's not 30 anymore, it's all the way down to 10. You know? It's 1/3 of what it used to be. Like, this is, like, I don't know, like, it's stupid, dude. Like, it's not stupid. It's, like, smart on their part. It's just making me really upset. Most of the things that they've been doing, most of the coupons that they've been reducing, has not been smart on their part, because it stops being mutually beneficial. It starts just being annoying for both parties, getting both parties less money, and just being bad. But, like, at this point, it is just, again, corporate greed, and them saying, we don't want to actually give these deals that we're advertising. We're just going to give them to some of you. Those of you that are shopping for one kid or getting a very small number of items, sure, you could get the deal. But if you have more than one kid, no. If you've got 2 kids with 6 classes each, and you were thinking of getting them notebooks for those classes, think again. because they're not actually the advertised price. They're going to be more expensive than that. So you are going to pay more than you think you will, because you'll grab all of those notebooks thinking that they're 50 cents because that's what it says on the price tag, and you have to read the fine print below the price tag to know that you have to pay more if you're buying more than 10. So if you're budgeting and you're saying, okay, I'm going to get 12 or 14 or, 3 kids, 21, I'm going to get this many of this item. And you're like, calculating a total in your head, which is what I do. I don't know if that's like a thing that everyone does, but like, when I'm grabbing stuff off the shelves and I'm sort of buying things, I'll keep like a mental tally of approximately how much money I'm spending, right? So, it's 50 cents each. Okay, I'm going to grab 15 of these. That's $7.50. Okay, cool. No, it's not. It's going to be more than that because you didn't read the little tiny subtext about it actually being more if you're buying more than 10 of them. It's just annoying. And it's like, it's annoying for your average consumer, and it's going to like ruin the just the scraps of loyalty that people might have. The fact that people do think of Staples as the back to school spot. Like, I feel like they're going to notice, or someone's going to notice and stop shopping there, that like all of a sudden the deals that they were advertising aren't actual, like, the deals don't actually apply. Or like the deals don't apply after a certain point that a person shopping for their kids could reasonably hit. And they're just sort of not mentioning that. Like, it's just like, it's going to ruin the last scraps of like, okay, sure, their coupons hardly work anymore, but at least during back to school time, they've got good deals. Yeah, some of them. Some of the deals stayed, but they've all got limits that a person could reasonably hit. Now, I don't think anyone's going to get like more than 10 packs of Crayola crayons, but like, there are some, like, when it comes to notebooks and copybooks and things like that, those are numbers that you can hit, Like, it's really not impossible to hit 10 notebooks. And especially, like, the people I'm going to feel the most bad about, because, like, and this is a close second to the people just trying to shop for their kids. Don't get me wrong. I do feel really bad for the people that are just trying to get school supplies for their kids, and trying to get the good deals that Staples is advertising. But there are a lot of people that will come into Staples and buy things for, like, Salvation Army or, like, just to donate, because a lot of places request school supply donations, right? So the people that I'm going to feel the most bad about are the people that come in to do those donations, because there are a lot of people that do it every year and they get 30 of each item, right? There are a lot of people that come in and say, I'm going to get 30 notebooks, I'm going to get 30, like, I'm going to get 30 wide ruled, 30 college ruled, because those are, like, separate, so you can do that. I'm going to get 30 wide ruled, 30 college ruled. I'm going to get 30 packs of crayons, 30 packs of colored pencils, all these things that are limited but really good prices. I'm going to do all of those because I do this every year. I've got the numbers memorized. I've got the prices memorized because you guys won't change it, right? You guys won't upcharge me, right? This has been the case for several years, and you're going to keep it that way, right? Right? It makes me mad because now, like, they're either going to end up spending more money than they traditionally have, more money than they were expecting to, or they're going to only get 10 of those items, right? Like, where they would have gotten 30 items to donate of, like, each of these items, where 30 kids would have gotten a pack of crayons, now only 10 do, because it was too expensive to get more than that because the deal doesn't apply past 10. Those are the people that I'm going to feel the most bad about, both the people buying if they need to pay more than they were expecting to because they have the prices memorized and they didn't realize that we had changed it, and the people that are actually in need and would be receiving those items because now, like, because now you can only get 10. And a lot of those people just say, I'm going to get 30, I'm going to max it out. And they do this every year. And they mention to me, like, I do this every year. It's like, it makes me feel good about myself because I only end up spending like X amount of money. And that's not that much. And I get to help a lot of people that can't afford the school supplies. And now they're not going to do that. Now they're not going to, like, either they're going to go somewhere besides Staples, which good on them, or they're just not going to do it anymore because they don't know where else to go besides Staples, Like, they're either going to pay a little bit more money or they're just going to stop doing it. Like, it sucks. It really, really sucks. I wish they weren't doing this because this is something that, like, I don't know. Man, I think I'm gonna die. Like, it sucks and it's annoying because, like, I don't, man, oh well. It's annoying just because, like, it's going to hurt a lot of just average people. Like, again, the limit 30 makes sense because the only people that are going to hit, like, 30 notebooks or copybooks are people buying for a classroom. Or I guess if you have, like, 5 or 6 kids, you might hit that. But again, at that point, if you have 5 or 6 kids and you're doing a whole back to school haul for them, I feel like you're going to expect to spend a lot of money. Like, not that I feel less bad for them, but, like, you're going to be buying a lot of stuff regardless, and you might not notice an extra charge of $1 or $2, It's just that, like, the people that aren't buying that much stuff that might have just hit the number 10 because 10 is a small number, they're going to get paid more than they thought they were. Or they're going to get charged more than they thought they were going to, and that sucks. It does. And again, they've been advertising all of these other deals. Like, I had to take down deals on, like, construction paper and modeling clay and all of these types of things. Like, sure, you could get, like, pens and pencils, but anything, like, optional or creative is so much more expensive because the deal ended, And these things have been advertised because, like, all of the Crayola things, like, get advertised the most because Crayola does big discounts during back to school. And I took down so many Crayola tags. I took down so many Crayola deals because they just took it back as soon as August started. As soon as people actually started shopping for back to school, they took it back, It's just, like, it's just annoying because it wasn't false advertising when they put it out, but now that they've reduced, like, but now they're going to reduce it as soon as people start using them. Like, as soon as people would actually go to Staples to make that purchase that they have been thinking about for the past, like, month, because back to school isn't on most people's minds in June and July, but that doesn't mean that they're not, like, slightly, like, the advertising does get in your head a little bit. Like, you're not actually going out to buy it, but you're sort of, like, subconsciously deciding where you're going to go when you do go back to school shopping, or where you have historically gone, where you have always gotten these prices and used these coupons. But guess what? In the past year and a half, the coupons are worth 1/4 of what they were, and the deals that even have just been advertised in the past, like, couple of months don't apply anymore, Like, it's corporate greed, and it makes me upset because here's the thing is Staples isn't even, like, a publicly listed company. That's, like, the kicker. That's the worst part, is they're not even doing this for, like, shareholders, which is bad enough in its own right. Like, and the reason why, like, a lot of companies have really gotten out of hand is, like, with, like, the prices and everything, and that's why, like, I don't know, that's why a lot of things are bad, is because shareholders are prioritized over customers or, like, workers or, like, anyone else. But the thing is that Staples doesn't even have, like, private or, like, public shareholders. Like, they have private investment people and the higher ups, and that's it. And that's all the money is going to. It's not even going to any individual person that may have invested in the company. Like, it's not going anywhere except into the pockets of, like, the owners and the higher ups and the CEOs and whatever. Like, that's the real kicker to me, is that they're doing it entirely just for the good of the people at the very top, because no one else is seeing a pay increase. I'm not, at least. I guess I'm at the very bottom, but, like, I'm not seeing any pay increases. At this time last year, I had gotten a performance report and a pay increase, but I don't know where that is. You know, that's not there yet. Like, I just, like, I don't know. I just, like, it's just, they're not even paying it out to any shareholders unless they're, like, private multi-million-dollar firms already. They're not paying it to the employees. It's just that the prices are going up, and it's not because of inflation, because the discounts are going down, and they're losing customers and pinning that on the employees by saying, no, you guys need to drive more customer engagement. You guys need more customer loyalty. Why are these customers leaving? When you're getting rid of everything that would keep them there. And, like, it's just like stupid. I don't, like, it's not beneficial to anyone except the people at the very top. But even at that, getting rid of these coupons is, like, getting rid of the coupons is literally just, like, mutually harmful, because they're not getting as much money as they used to, and the people aren't saving as much money as they used to, unless they're really, really gaming it. And again, good on them. If you're spending more than $60, the 15% off coupon is better than the 10 off 30. But for the vast majority of people, even if you are spending more than $60, were you planning on spending more than $60? Or are you just doing that so you can get the money off? You know, are you just doing that so that it can be, like, so that you can use the coupon? Because, like, or were you planning on spending that much money, or are you just spending it because you got the coupon? Because that used to be worth it when it was a 10 off 30. Sure, I'll spend $30 to get 33% off on my purchase. That's huge. That's crazy. I'll do that. But, like, but now, like, that's not, like, that's not worth it anymore, to spend whatever amount of money, to spend $60 so that your 15% off coupon can feel like it's worth it. Because it's not, you know? Like, I don't know, it's just annoying, and it feels like it's just corporate greed, period. Like, it's not, it feels like it's corporate greed. It is. Like, all of this evidence is just pointing towards corporate greed. Because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Companies less so, but I still, you know, I'm like, okay, I work for this company. I'd like to imagine that it's a good company. I'd like to think, in theory at least, I'd like to hope that it would be, you know, a decent company that's not, like, the worst, you know? I was hoping that, you know, it would, that, like, maybe, like, sure, they're increasing their prices, but these are some pretty good coupons. Like, when I first started working there, I was like, okay, these are some pretty good coupons, though. So, like, I don't know, maybe it's not, like, you know, it's not that bad. Because, like, you just need to know how to shop. You can't just go in there and shop, which kind of sucks. I mean, like, you could, but you're gonna spend a lot of money. You just sort of need to, you know, figure out how you can game and plan with coupons. It's, like, fine. And then they just kept nerfing the coupons. They just kept taking away these things for the people. And now it's not even worth it to do tech recycling anymore. Now it's not even worth it to do ink recycling anymore. It's not even worth your gas to get there, because you're getting basically nothing, you know? Sure, it's still worth it to, if you're going to make a purchase the day of, to get that $10 off a $30 purchase or more for tech recycling. Sure, it's still worth it to get a 15% off for your online returns, because, anywhere else just might not give you anything. I don't know. I don't do anything, like, I don't do them anywhere besides Staples. But, you know, other companies might give you literally nothing. So, like, yeah, sure. Sometimes it is, like, it's better than nothing. But it's just when you look at where you were and where we've come from and how it's changed in the past year and a half, it's just corporate greed that's, like, just trying to take as much money as it can from all of its customers. And then again, it's like pinning this on the, like, it's pinning this on the employees and saying, why is your store losing customers? Why, like, when they are the ones raising the prices, when they are the ones, like, lowering the coupon value, when they are the ones making it hard to even imagine why a customer would want to even go to Staples except for maybe the fact that they live close to one. And then they're saying, why aren't you guys getting as many reward signups? Well, it's because people ask, why should I sign up for rewards? And we can't give them a good reason. Why are you guys losing customers? It's because how would we be able to keep customers with these prices and this lack of coupons? Like, it's stupid. And, like, I guess I'm not directly hearing this from, like, I'm hearing this from my manager, who is, like, I don't know, he's kind of weird. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he just wants his store to be the best. But I know that Staples Corporate is at least asking that a focus be put on customer loyalty. And I just think that's funny. Because they are actively sabotaging that and then asking us to counteract their sabotage. And it's just, like, it's stupid. It's stupid. Because, like, you just... Why would anyone be a loyal customer to Staples right now? Be a loyal customer to Walmart instead. And look, here's the thing. I know that I did put out a video on this channel, which no one watched, but I did put out a video on this channel for here is how to shop at Staples, here is how to coupon at Staples, because you can use the coupons that they do have, and you can use the app and get the deals and whatever. There are some ways that you can be successful in, like, getting a lot of things for a little money at Staples. If you do, like, I mean, if you've made it to this point in the video, you don't want to shop at Staples. That's just, like, not. But, like, I have been able to make some good purchases at Staples. I don't want to say it's absolutely impossible. It's just getting harder and harder because the prices of things are going up. And when I made my purchases, it was before the recent price hikes, which is, like, because I did my back-to-school shopping before the back-to-school crowd because I work at the back-to-school store, and I don't want myself and my coworkers to, like, have to deal with me buying things when we have so many other customers buying things, you know? It's just, like, I don't know, like, you can still make a good, like, you can still get good deals at Staples if you really try, but the problem is that you have to try so hard. You can get good discounts, right? There are good discounts every once in a while, but not nearly as consistently as they used to be, and they're just not as good as they used to be. So, I don't know. So I did put out that video, and I don't want to sound hypocritical because, like, I did put out that video. I did put out a video for how to shop at Staples, and I did say it would be a good idea to shop at Staples as opposed to anywhere else that's cheaper specifically because we do price matching. So if you can find it cheaper at Walmart, price match to Walmart and then use that 15% off coupon or that $10 off of 30 that you can get for the day only thing, you know, like, it is possible to get a good deal and to, I don't know, like, you can make a good purchase at Staples, and I don't want to, like, sabotage my other video, I guess, because of this, but I don't think it's not for the same target audience, this video and that one, and I hope there isn't that much of an overlap in the people it's pushed to, that you'd be able to see both of them, but just as a, like, disclaimer, if it does happen, that I know that I put out that video, And that's just supposed to be telling people exactly what the coupons are and how to use them, so that if you do want to shop at Staples, if you do want to go through, like, looking at everywhere online, figuring out where to price match to, and then getting 15% off on top of that, it would be worth it then. But I'm thinking of the average person, right? Like, the person that's just going there to shop for their kids. The person that's not really, like... The person that's not going to price match every item, the person that's not going to go in there with a million coupons, the person that's not going to try to download the app and get the best coupons and deals and rewards and make sure that, you buy the things in this order and, spread out your purchases and whatever. The average person just isn't going to do that. I made that video for teachers specifically who need to buy these school supplies, because you can, if you really meticulously space it out and you know exactly what you need, you can get a good deal at Staples. But for the average person, for the person that isn't going to watch a video before going to make a purchase, for the person that's just going to make the purchase, for the person that's going to not read the fine print on the signs and just buy the item that they think they're getting for, or buy the item for the price they think they're getting it at, like, I just, like, I don't know, like, I just, like, for those people that aren't going to do, for those people that aren't going to do the hardcore research, I just, like, it's just going to hurt them, It's going to hurt the average everyday consumer. Is going to hurt, like, just the middle class, middle of the road, normal people just trying to do school shopping for their kids. And yes, there are ways to, like, use the coupons that we do have. There are ways to time it and game it if you're a teacher and you want to, like, I don't know. I just feel the need to give that kind of disclaimer that, like, you can make good purchases, because I do, but it's just so much harder than it used to be. And it sucks that we're at that point. It sucks that, again, even just in the past year and a half, that I have seen these things degrade in value to such an extent, that I have seen these things become, like, 1/4 of what they used to be. Like, it's, like, absurd. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do with that. Ouch. Like, and the answer is there isn't anything I can do. There isn't anything that, like, I just want to, like, I just feel the need to, like, put it out there to advertise, not to advertise, just like, I don't know, announce, to let everyone know that, like, Staples is a bad company that's not paying its employees well. I get paid $12 an hour. Also, if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, that's how much I'm making in the mess of all this, that, like, I have to deal with, like, because also they're understaffing us. Absolutely. It's something I haven't talked about yet. That, like, we're getting understaffed on top of all of this, and on top of them, raising prices and, like, I don't know, like, getting rid of discounts and everything happening all at once. They're understaffing us as well, even worse than last back to school. And I thought last back to school was pretty bad, especially because I was new and they were, like, I don't know, because I wasn't new that I needed, like, someone to be with me all of the time. I had been there for a few months, but it felt very overwhelming when I was there last year. And now it's worse, because it's like last year, but we have, like, one less person, every day. Like, it sucks, because, like, it's just, like, because I have to clock out as soon as the store closes, because I cannot possibly, like, stay any extra time. They can't afford to pay me at all extra, but also the store needs to be perfectly clean, because no customers are going to come to the store if it's slightly disheveled. And and like, we need to make sure that everything is perfectly stocked, and I need to do 4 jobs at once because we don't have enough people. We don't have enough people in the store at any given time, so I need to balance between putting freight out and managing the returns, and being the extra cashier because they're not putting an extra cashier on, and like, I I don't know. Pentakill. That was nice. But I don't like. It's just like, I we're understaffed because they're putting less people on, because they're like, I don't know, like, it's just like, we're understaffed, we're underpaid, they're getting rid of the discounts, they're getting rid of everything. Like, it's just hard, It's just hard to, or it's not hard, it just sucks. They're just a bad company, that's it. It's hard to justify working there. It's hard to, like, I don't know, like, working there is a bad experience because I see all of these things happening and all of these people struggling. Oh man, if I didn't die at the end. But I see all these people struggling. I see everything happening and all these prices being raised and all of these discounts being less and less. I just think Staples is a bad company, and I'm honestly probably gonna make the title like Staples is a bad company. But I don't know. All of these things combined, it's just so bad. It's just so bad. It's such a bad, like, don't shop there. Unless you're going to watch my couponing video and know exactly how to save the maximum amount of money, don't shop there. No, don't shop there. Anyway. That's about all that. But I just need to put this into the void and state it somewhere, because Staples is a bad company, and it's all the things that they've been doing that I can think of. Yeah. See you guys in the next one.